Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily if it is your first time here, and in today's video we are going to be doing the next rotation of my Shop My Stash series here on my YouTube channel. So the last rotation that I didn't actually film it. I rotated the stuff out right when I got home from vacation, and I don't know why I didn't film it, but I didn't. And so here we are. So you didn't see the products come in, but I'm going to show them to you on their way out, and then we will talk through what's going to be in this bag, and then I'll show you the makeup look that I created using mostly everything from this bag. So without further ado, let's jump into what was in the last rotation. So starting off, we have the products that always stay in: Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray. I use one setting spray at a time, so when this is used up, then a new one will come in. The Auric Beauty Glow Lust has become a daily staple in my makeup bag. The NYX Glitter Primer I use with every shimmer ever. And then my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder, which is a pretty new addition as well. And then of course my mirror and my lash curler always stay in my makeup bag. The single shadow that I had in this month's rotation, this past rotation, was the Clionadh single in the shade Cryosphere. It's this like really light kind of icy blue green shade. It's definitely a satin, not really a shimmer, but it is very shifty and pretty. For the one and done shadow, we had the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Flower Child, which is like a pure yellow gold, and it's not super reflective, so was not a huge fan of the few times that I wore this, just because I felt like, I don't know. And it is an ultra metallic shadow, but it just almost feels a little bit drier, and I have not had this one for that long, so it was a little bit disappointing. For eyeshadow primer, I had the Pero Primero primer from Alamar Cosmetics. It's my favorite eyeshadow primer of all time. For loose setting powder, I was actually so surprised by this. I did not think that I was going to love this as much as I did, and I'm at the point where I feel like I can say that when I use this up, I will be buying the full size. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Micro Finishing Loose Powder. This smoothed my skin so much. It made my under eyes look flawless. It made anywhere that I set look so smooth and just so pretty, and I really enjoy it. For primer, I was using the Milk Makeup Vegan Milk Moisturizer, and this is a good moisturizer. It did not break me out. Foundation, I used the Milani Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation. I bought this off of recommendation from Julia Adams, and it is a very sheer light coverage foundation. It offers almost no coverage, just like a tiny bit, but not a whole lot. For my concealer, I was using the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer, and I have mine in the shade Sugar Light 3, but it's a little bit too yellow for me, so I was actually just mixing it with this Lavender Color Corrector, and I found that it actually helped a lot. I don't know why I've never thought of doing that before, but it really helped like get a good shade match for me. I wouldn't say the most perfect shade match, but a better shade match than what the concealer was on its own. For my all over face powder, I was using the Becca Light Shifter Finishing Veil in the shade Scattering 1, and I really enjoy this powder. It is so lightweight, and it just adds like a tiny bit of luminosity to the skin, but it sets down your makeup really nicely as well, so I really enjoyed using it. For my brow product, I was using the Patrick Ta Shaping Wax, the tinted version, and I'm like doing real good on the pan in here. Definitely using that up within the next like 3 months. For my black eyeliner, we had the Queen Studio Dragon Liner, and I really enjoy this liner. It is super wet, and although it is a felt tip liner, the felt tip is not super firm. It's a little bit more flexible, so I found that it was like pretty easy to do a wing with. I had the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Marigold. This is from the Raw Beauty Christie collab, and I really like this eyeliner. It is like the most perfect like kind of orangey yellow, and I think that it looks really pretty. And then for my mascara, I was using the Milk Makeup Kush mascara, and mine is almost dried out. It is probably on its last leg. I would say another 1 to maybe 2 months if I'm really pushing it, and then it'll be gone. But this is one of my favorite mascaras, and I love having this in my makeup bag. For my bronzer, I had the Nabla Skin Bronzing in the shade Soft Revenge. This is one of my favorite bronzers. It looks like a really weird shade in the pan, but this is like a baked jelly formula, so it applies very, very sheer. But it applies very, very sheer, and it's very easy to blend out and build up, so it's not as scary as it looks. The blush that I was using, I think I'm actually going to toss. It is in my singles palette, and it is this shade right here from a Seraphine Botanicals eyeshadow palette that I had a while back that I got in a BoxyCharm, and it just did not have, it doesn't have like a blush color to it. Like, I'm really getting in here, and it just is like, looks just like shimmer on my cheeks, and it just doesn't look nice, so I think I'm actually just going to toss that. And then for my highlighter, I had my Merit Beauty highlighting balm in the shade Kava. This is a really, really pretty highlighter. It's very like gel-like, and it doesn't have a lot of shimmer or reflect in it, but it has like a little bit of something, and it's so pretty. For my lip liner, I had the Beauty Vault lip liner in the shade Beau Babe. This is like kind of like a burnt orangey red terracotta shade. For lipstick, I had the Colourpop lippy stick in the shade Happy Thoughts, and it's a little bit cool toned for that lip liner, but I was able to make it work, and I thought that this lip was really pretty, like sheared out. And then last but not least, the lip gloss that I had was the Nabla Shine Theory lip gloss in the shade Toxic Love. This is one of my favorite lip glosses in my entire collection. And now I'm going to tell you what is in this week's bag. Starting out with the single shadow, we have another clionadh shade, and this is the shade Alpine. Funny story, this is the base makeup that you are going to see in the makeup portion of the video, but it is not the eye makeup. When I finished my eye makeup, my eyes were burning terribly, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the powder that I was using, but I had to take it all off, and then I like put new eye makeup on using like some different type of techniques, and it's fine now. So I don't really know what was going on, but I was wearing this shade. And then for the one and done shade, I have the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Free Reign. This is a really gorgeous kind of like cool toned brown with like silver and red reflex in it. For eye primer, we are using the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. For face primer, I'm bringing in the Farsali Skintune Blur. I believe mine is almost at the end of its life. It's getting a little bit thick. It's not as thin as it used to be. The foundation I'm using is the Wet n Wild Photofocus Stick Foundation. This is one of my favorite foundations, but I will be honest, it does not wear the best. It kind of starts to fade throughout the day. The concealer I'm pulling in is my Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer. It's in the shade Light 08, and this is one of my favorite colors for concealer that I have in my entire collection. The loose setting powder that I'm bringing in is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. I'm not sure if it was the fragrance that was irritating me or the fact that I've just had this powder a really long time, but I'm gonna give it like one more shot, and if it still makes my eyes burn, then I'm gonna pull something else in and toss that powder. The all over face setting powder that I'm using is actually this bodyography like eyeshadow blush type of shade. It's like an all-purpose powder, and it's in the shade Creamsicle. The brow gel I'm pulling in is this CoverGirl Professional Natural Lash mascara, I think, but I use it in my brows. I could actually use a little bit more. For black liner, I have my KVD Cake Pencil in the shade Trooper Black. This is one of my favorite pencil eyeliner formulas. It lasts such a long time on the eyes. And then for the colored liner that I'm pulling in, I'm going to be pulling in the Colourpop x Bambi Creme Gel Liner in the shade Meadow. This is a really light, like almost pale pastel yellow shade. And then the mascara, quite ironic, is just the mini version of the Milk Kush mascara. So 2 months in a row using my favorite mascara. The bronzer I'm using is the Milani Baked bronzer in the shade Soleil 05. And this bronzer, this rotation is kind of my like decision on whether or not I will be keeping this in my collection. It's just so sheer. And I love a sheer bronzer, but this just might be a little too sheer for me. The blush is a blush that I don't think I've actually ever featured on my channel before. This is the Maelle Beauty Sun-Kissed Blush, and this is what it looks like. There are 4 different shades in here, I believe. 5 different blush shades in here, and they're all very pretty. For my highlighter, I'm using my RMS Beauty Living Glow Face and Body Powder. This is one of the most shiny highlights in my collection, but it looks so beautiful and natural on the skin. Like, that did not look shiny at all, but that's basically what it looks like on my face, and I love it. It's one of my favorite highlighters, even though RMS Beauty is not particularly a brand that I support. For the lips, I have my NYX lip liner in the shade Mauve. And then I have a bougie lipstick. This is the Givenchy Le Rose Perfecto in the shade 302. It is this really bright orange kind of tinted lip balm. And then for the lip gloss, we have the Wet n Wild X Bretman Rock Jungle Rock lip gloss in the shade Freaky. It is like this clear lip gloss with like a very slight purple reflect to it. And that is it, actually. So let's jump into the makeup look. that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you will give it a thumbs up before you go and maybe subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!